Imagine walking into a burger place you've trusted your whole life. You're standing there waiting for your number, staring at the screen as it flips 64, 65, 66, and then 68. You blink. You look again. It's not sold out. It's not broken. One number is just gone. Deleted. And it all happened because of 2 digits that broke the internet. 67. By the end of this video, you'll know why the number 67 became such a real-world problem and how a TikTok sound forced a major fast food chain to quietly change how it operates. This story starts like a mystery. Customers at In-N-Out began noticing something strange. Order numbers are being called as usual, but 67 never showed up. Receipts skipped it. Screens jumped over it. Employees didn't mention it. At first, people thought it was a glitch, maybe a broken system, maybe a coincidence. But it wasn't, because months earlier, 67 wasn't just a number anymore. It was a trigger. Online, especially on TikTok, a strange little trend started spreading. People began reacting to the phrase 67 like it was a punchline. No explanation, no setup, just 2 numbers said out loud, and suddenly everyone's laughing, yelling, filming. It didn't even matter what it meant. In fact, the less it made sense, the funnier it became. Part of the trend came from a song that repeated 6-7 in a catchy brainworm way. Another part came from basketball culture, slang, and internet irony doing what it does best, mixing everything together until nobody can explain it. But everyone understands it. And once something like that exists online, it doesn't stay online for long. Teenagers started taking the meme into the real world, especially into places where numbers are said out loud in public. Schools, malls, and yes, burger joints. In-N-Out became the perfect stage. Think about it. A quiet restaurant, a loudspeaker, an employee calmly calling out numbers. All it takes is one moment. Order number 67. And suddenly a group of kids who weren't even eating there start yelling, cheering, filming, laughing like they just won a championship. At first it was funny. Employees laughed. Customers were confused but amused. But then it kept happening, over and over. People started waiting around just for that number, not to eat, not to order, just to react. The moment 67 got called, the restaurant would stall. Phones would come out. People would crowd the counter. Staff would pause what they were doing. The flow broke. A joke became a disruption. And that's when In-N-Out made a decision that sounds fake until you hear it out loud. They removed the number. Not publicly, not with an announcement, no press release, no tweet. They just quietly took 67 out of the order system. The sequence now jumps straight from 66 to 68 like nothing ever happened. If you're thinking, that's ridiculous, pause for a second. This isn't a small corner store. This is a multi-state chain known for consistency, tradition, and doing things the same way for decades. And yet a meme was powerful enough to force a change at the operational level. Why not just ignore it? Because ignoring it didn't work. When something goes viral, it stops being about the original joke. It becomes about crowd behavior. One person reacting turns into 10, 10 turns into 50, and suddenly employees aren't dealing with customers anymore. They're managing a live performance. A harmless joke, repeated enough times, turns into a bottleneck. Some employees even started warning customers. Half joking, half serious, basically saying, we don't have that number anymore because people couldn't behave. And it wasn't just 67. In some locations, other funny numbers quietly disappeared too. Because once people realize they can hijack a system for content, they will. Here's the strange part though. While In-N-Out was removing the number to restore order, the internet was doing the opposite. The phrase 67 got even bigger. Bigger to the point where it was named Word of the Year. That's what we'll break down in the next video. Not because it had meaning, but because it perfectly represented modern internet culture. A phrase that doesn't need definition. A joke without a punchline. Something that spreads simply because people enjoy being in on it. Other brands noticed this and went in a completely different direction. Instead of shutting it down, they leaned into it. Promotions, prices, tweets, turning the chaos into marketing. 2 strategies, same meme, very different outcomes. And that's what makes this story so interesting. This isn't really about burgers or numbers or teenagers being loud in restaurants. It's about what viral actually means now. Viral used to mean views, likes, shares, internet points that lived and died on your phone screens. But now viral means consequences, real ones. Systems changing, rules being rewritten, operations adjusting. A number got deleted from a real-world system because people couldn't stop reacting to it. That's power. Weird power, but power. So the next time you hear people say, it's just a meme, remember this. Somewhere out there, an employee is calling out order numbers, and they will never say 67 again. If you enjoy stories where internet culture collides with the real world, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because the next one goes even deeper into how a joke becomes history.